wasn't doing it well, then he take control of my computer, um, in science
From home?
from his home, yes, and he helped me very well to do that exercise.
Yes, yes. I know that he's very brilliant. I don't know if he's still working for American companies as a subcontractor. So I think that and it's your dad who told me this, I believe. He used to do work for companies in the US, in Texas, I think, and then he would develop software and applications and this and that. And very, very smart, very smart. So you had a good time with him, right? With the family over there.
Yes, we could say yes.
Oh, very good,
Something,
very good.
something calm.
Did you swallow the 12 grapes for the 12 wishes?
Yes, yes, it is a nice tradition that I really like. Supposedly that meanwhile you eat each of those grapes, you uh, take a wish.
Exactly, exactly. And supposedly there are 12 wishes, one for each month of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, we had a tradition in which we burnt the paper where you wrote the wishes, and you put it in a container, small container, glass container, and then you burn it. And supposedly, with that tradition, you also get your wishes come true. Supposedly,
Mm-hmm.
well, very nice, Mitch. Some exercises. I'm gonna share the screen, and these are the question tag exercises that we did the other day. Remember that we started to do the other day. So remember that we talked about the question tags here. These are some indirect questions, which is very important. When we do the indirect questions, notice how the verb normally is at the end. You see?
Mm-hmm.
So let's read this, please, and then we go directly to the exercises. Can we, please?
Yes. Um, some introductory phrases and questions.
Yes, please.
Okay. Could you tell me? Um, could you tell me what time is it? Could you
It
let me
is. What
know
time? It. Okay.
it
Hold on.
is?
Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly. Is because the verb is at the end.
Okay. Could you tell me what time it is? Could you let me know? Could you let me know when it starts? Do you
Yes.
know? Do you know who that woman is? I wonder if you could tell me. I wonder if you could tell me how much this cost. I wonder if you know. I wonder if you know what the starting salary is. I wonder. I would like to know. I would like to know what your company is going to do about it.
Perfect. Perfect. So that's truly important because typical mistakes that even professors, even teachers make are the ones that are here. For example, I would like to know, when does the train next to London leave? Right? When does the next train to London leave is wrong. I would like to know when the next train to London leaves, because it's not a question, it's an affirmation, right? So, for example, could you tell me is the end of the question, but what time it is? Tell me what time it is, not what time is it. If you only made it, for example, it's different if you say, um, what time is it? This is one question, right?
Mhm.
What time is it? In this case, all right. Or please tell me what time it is. Here is the opposite, you see?
Ah,
Because so
okay.
that's totally different. But it's very common that even teachers say, please tell me what time is it? Okay, no, it's like it is here, right? Could you tell me when it starts? Do you know who that woman is? Not, do you know who is that woman? That's incorrect. But it's very common, but it's incorrect. Do you know who that woman is? So it's okay. Well, and then the last phrase, please, Mitch, please. If a direct question is a yes no question, can you read that too, please?
Sure. Choose the correct answer. Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I
no, no.
am
No, I'm
disturbing you.
sorry. The
Eh?
no. I'm sorry, Mitch. I didn't explain you. Read the last sentence here and the of
Ah,
the
sorry,
grammar
sorry, sorry,
section, and then
sorry.
we go direct.
Okay, sorry. If a direct question is a yes no question, the equivalent indirect questions uses if or whether. I wonder if whether you have read this book.
Yeah. So this is very important. I wonder if you have, or I wonder whether you have, right?
What was
So
the meaning
I
of whether in this context?
whether is exactly the same as if. I wonder if is the same as if, but is
But
another
in
way to
Spanish?
express if. Sí.
Uh,
I wonder if, me pregunto si if you have cooked lasagna before. For example, I wonder whether you have cooked lasagna before. And you can tell me, yes, I have cooked lasagna, or no, I have never cooked lasagna, right? But then, yeah, because I don't like this one very much. I'm gonna choose the normal Arial here. Just okay. So notice that you can use I wonder if or I wonder whether you have cooked lasagna before. All right. Okay. Let's
mhm.
now go directly to the exercises, Mitch, please. Can you read them,
Yeah,
please?
sorry. Yes. Choose the line. Choose the correct answer. Oh, I'm sorry. I am disturbing
Yeah.
you.
Am I disturbing you? Perfect. Am I
And
perfect? Number two.
did Dorothy has told you?
Uh, did Dorothy tell you? Did she tell
Oh,
you?
okay.
So let's read it again, please. Did Dorothy tell you? Here's Mickey. Let me welcome Mickey, please, because he's joining. Mickey, good morning. How are you today?
Hi, teacher. Good morning. I'm great. Thank you very much. And you?
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I was chatting with Mitch. She said to me that you spent your New Year with in Memo's house, right? Your uncle.
Yes, teacher. Uh,
Fantastic. Fantastic. How was it?
was good. Was nothing like spectacular, but all good, teacher. We eat meat and a piece of cake, and was good. And you, teacher?
Yeah, fine too. Thank you very much. I spent it in Leon. I went to a restaurant with my friend, my mom, and my brother Raul, and the four of us had a wonderful afternoon. We ate a lot in a place called La Osteria. It's by Plaza Mayor.
Mm.
Yeah, Plaza Mayor. I don't know if you know the place. Italian food.
Uh, yeah, I know where is the place, but I never went. Or how do you say? Okay, I
I
never
had never
been
been
there.
there.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay, okay. Do you know the place, Mitch? Have you been to? I'm sure that you guys have been to Plaza Mayor, right? A number of times.
Yeah.
Yes, but
Okay.
which
Yeah, we
place?
went. It's called La Osteria.
Roasteria. Ah, no.
La Osteria. It's a restaurant in Plaza Mayor. I was there with my mom, my friend, my brother Raul, and we had a good,
And it
very
is
good
good.
time. Very good.
Mm.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's really, really good. The pastas are just delicious. I asked for a bolognese, spaghetti alla bolognese. Oh, delicious.
Nice.
I love Italian food. Yeah. Well, we're doing exercise B. We're working on this exercise A, and Mitch just did exercise 2. Can you read it again, Mitch? Exercise 2, read it complete, please.
Mhm. Um, was
Did
it
Dorothy?
was?
No, did Dorothy tell you?
Uh, did Dorothy tell you about the meeting on Friday?
Yeah, perfect. Very good. Thank you. And then number three, Mickey, please.
Yes, sure. Uh, was it?
Was it hot? Yes.
Was it hot when you were in Spain?
Perfect. Thank you very much. Mitch, number four, please. Can you?
Sure. Um, have you?
Perfect. Yes.
Tony, have you got time to call Mr. Roberts?
Mrs. Roberts.
Mrs.? Mrs.
Mrs. Yeah,
Roberts?
is lady. As a lady.
Mm.
Number five, Mickey, please.
When your boss arrived, uh, had you
Yes, perfect. Yeah, very good. Had you finished the report?
finished the report? Yeah.
Yes, perfect. Thank you, Mickey. Mitch, number six, please.
Uh, but have you ever?
Have you ever seen somebody? Okay, yeah, very good. Excellent. Can you read it complete, please?
Sure. I know Jen's pretty, but have you ever seen someone spend so much time in front of the mirror?
Okay.
Bless you.
Thank you, thank you. A little digression here, just because of a little gossip here. Is it only women that spend so much time in the mirror, or is it equal now? What do you think about that, Mickey, Mitch?
I think it depends of the person. Because, for example, at least in this house, Mickey is the one who spend more time in the mirror.
No, well, we have some revelations now, Mickey.
Yeah, I noticed. Mm,
Okay.
well, I think that now inequality is like more popular than men or women are uh, so focused on their aspect and on their physique. But
Under looks, yes.
yeah,
Physical
but I think
appearance.
yeah, of their physical appearance. But I think that it was more in this time, in the actuality than before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is. I'm telling you this. I mention this not because I just want to gossip, but because it's been a point of discussion of positive discussion amongst many people, my friend, some other students, some teachers, etc. That the wrapping of the gift is just as important as the contents. I had mixed feelings about that, but I thought it was a very interesting concept. And now that Mitch read this exercise, it just came to my mind that the wrapping, la cubierta, right, is just as important as the contents. What do you think about this phrase, Mitch?
I
Do you
think
agree?
it is relationate with the appearance of the person and their feelings and personality, right? Uh, then I think the appearance of each person it is important, yes, because it's the first impression that you give to the others. Then okay, you pass that first step, and then the other has to know your personality and thoughts about life, and if and that depends if they want to continue with you or not.
Okay, now let me ask you both. Okay, let me ask this question to Mickey. Okay, the wrapping, the presence, the visual aspect is very important. But why? Why is it so important? I mean, why is it so important that you are shaved or that you are not shaved is detrimental? It's just a general question, of course.
Mm,
Mm, Well,
Um,
I think this time depends of the people, of each person, because, for example, Mickey, digo me, uh, of course, and I guess Mickey too. Uh, I shared a person who really care about themselves, care about their health, about their clothes are good. They care about their family, and then I go to know their really feelings or thoughts about anything.
Okay, that's very, very interesting. What do you think about this, Mickey? Thank you, Mitch.
uh, well, yeah, I think that it is important because, for example, when you meet someone new, the physical appearance and the physical aspect is the first thing that you see. But for example, probably that will be the first thing that makes you uh, be interesting in someone. But at the end, it's important if the person has something else to give, not only their aspect. It's my
Okay,
opinion.
very nice. Excellent, excellent. So, what should people see? Yeah, I'll come back to the exercises in a moment. I'll come back
Yeah.
to the exercises. Just a little digression. What should people see externally, and what should people see internally? So, let me write it down because I think it's an interesting question. People should see externally, right? You tell me what should see externally. But also there is an internal, let's call it inspection. I don't like the word inspection, but let's call it for the moment internal inspection, right? Internally. What should they see internally in you, or what do you see in other people externally and internally? What are we looking for in people internally and externally? Please.
Mm, externally, uh,
Mm,
well, I think that externally would be your physical appearance, or if someone is clean or not, or
mm-hmm.
Okay,
um,
cleanliness, right? What else?
and behavior with the others at first sight.
mm, probably behavior with others would be internally, right?
Mm,
Um,
could be, but some in some cases people tend to treat people to start a conversation, but not showing their own internal face. That's not usually bad in all the cases, but maybe because they are nervous or not have a lot of confidence to show themselves internally yet.
I think both of you are right. On the one hand, on the all the external mannerisms, social manners, gestures, etc., is an external factor, but your intentions, your feelings, your emotions is something internal. So probably it's part of both, Mickey, Mitch. What do you think about
Hmm.
Mitch's comment, Mickey?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, well, that's what we show or what we look for in others externally. And internally, which are the things that we look for in people internally? Because, okay, he is clean, she is clean, he is courteous, she is courteous, they behave nice, they make friends, they are friendly. That's external, right?
Hmm.
What about internally? Then what do we seek? What do we seek internally?
L- Looking for someone who is mentally okay.
Mentally okay. Okay. In these days, it's not so extremely common. Eh?
Hmm.
Okay. Mentally okay. That's important. What else?
That they respect the others.
Okay. People should be respectful, of course. That's incredibly important. What else?
Um,
Their opinions about some important subjects.
Is that important in terms that should it be similar, identical to your opinion, or should they show logic even if they are totally opposite to what you think, or both
Oh,
are
show
valid?
show logic, of course, because for example, when AMLO want to take off the how it was the names of the things, ventiladores eólicos.
Eolic fans or yeah,
Uh-huh.
generators.
Of course, the most majority of the people are disagree with that opinion, but there are a little minority who are okay with that. And what happened to you? No.
Okay. All right. So it must be logic. There must be logic in the thoughts and opinions. What else, Mitch Mickey?
Mm, yeah, well, I would say that it's necessary to have different type of opinions, because if you have the same opinions as the other person, probably you're not gonna learn something else or something important too. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that it's necessary to have different type of opinions, but um, well, internally, um, obviously, if it's a nice person, if he's care of others, how do you say that?
Caring is a caring person.
Yeah, if he's a caring person, mm, I would say that that's all.
Okay, very nice. Excellent. Very good. Well, that was just a small digression because of the question here. Thank you very much, guys. Interesting. Let's go to question number 7, please. Then,
Mm-hmm.
It's raining, so um, will they?
will they? Perfect.
Will they cancel the concert?
Very good. Thank you. Number 8, Mitch, please.
Yes. Uh, you cool?
It's a question.
Mm,
Could you? Could you?
could you?
Could you pass me the salt, please?
Very good. Excellent. Thank you. Number 9, Mickey, please.
Sir, can you repeat?
Yes. Yes.
Can you repeat what
Right.
the homework is, please?
Very good. Thank you. Number 10, Mitch, please.
Mm, div?
Uh,
Where?
where? Yeah. Yeah, let's see this.
Where
Can
the
you read it, please?
where the couple where the couple you met in France last year is staying at the same hotel?
Hotel. Perfect. Thank you. 11, Mickey, please.
I know how to pronounce controversy, but what does it mean?
What does it mean? Yeah, it's a direct question here. Perfect. Thank you very much. Number 12, Mitch, please.
Uh, fine. You think?
But it's a question, the last part. It's a great idea, but do you
Do you
think?
think?
Yeah.
It's a great
Do you
idea,
think?
but do you think it will work?
Okay, perfect. Very much. Perfect. Excellent. Let me go back a couple of seconds again to another interesting question, which is the word controversy. Why some oops. Why some topics are controversial, and what do you think about controversy in general? And why is it so appealing? Is the question. What is controversy for you? Controversy. Why is it so appealing to people? In other words, people don't normally talk about trivial things. People talk about controversial things. And Mickey mentioned something very interesting. As interesting as what you said also, Mitch, that is when people think the same is not very enticing to learn something new, right? On the contrary, when you think differently, you learn something from the other person as well. When people think differently, at the end, both of you learn, right? That's called
Yeah.
the dialectic process, right? Well, what do you think about controversy, Mickey? And why is it so appealing to people?
What is
Mm,
appealing?
Appealing, attractive.
Oh,
um,
um,
well, I would say that uh, when a topic is controversies because there are so many different opinions, or at least two different main opinions, and it's controversial because could be so opposite one with the other.
So what? Excuse me.
Opposite, or how do you say? Uh,
Right.
yeah.
Contrasting opinions. Contrasting, right?
Hmm.
Contrasting. Okay. Very good. Thank you, Mickey. Why is this so appealing to people, Mitch? Why people get entangled in conflict? Not conflict, in contrasting opinions.
mm, well, the same as Mickey, and I think this often happens with things that could impact in the society directly or indirectly way. Also, could be like a gossip that happened with the famous people, and really, the people care about the things. I don't know why. Uh, I don't know.
Well, okay, very interesting. Tell you something. I tell you something. There are so many stereotypes about what is good and what is bad in society, in family, personally speaking. For example, my family was extremely conservative. Some of the things that now young people consider as okay, as good, even my daughters, in my generation, they were considered taboo. For example, tattoos. Tattoos. I personally don't like them, but I don't like them because that was how I was educated. But I have seen people with some beautiful tattoos that you say, well, that's really artistic. That's one thing. Other is rings, ear rings in boys. That's another tattoo. But then I went to Norway when I was 19 years old to play a chess championship for juniors. And then I saw lots of Norwegians with earrings in their ears, all over it. I says, well, that doesn't look so bad. And girls were the same, and they had piercings and here in the nose, in the belly, everywhere. I said, well, that's a different society. So there are many of these. What do you think about these topics, Mickey? Any topics that you consider, not topics, any issues that you consider taboo or that you consider are not acceptable for you, but maybe for other people they are. What do you think, Mickey?
Mm. But I always have the thinking and philosophy that each people is owner of their body. They can do whatever they want. Uh, Always if they don't affect third persons, and
Okay.
that thinking of, for example, don't let them work in any in all the places because only they have tattoos. It's very dumb for me. Why? How that's gonna affect their what's that? This word?
The
Desempeño, development,
performance,
performance
performance.
in their work. I don't understand.
Well, yeah, but let me go back to a comment that we agreed on a few minutes ago, which is the presence, how people look. Uh, we,
Oh
s-
yeah.
we we say that people should be shaved except if they have this beard or this goatee or whatever, right? They can have mustache, but it should be well trimmed. Um, well, is it not the same? Is it not the same that we accept and reject people based on their looks?
Ah. Okay, in this case about the tattoos, and I think in the past, some people tend to relationate it with some criminals. Criminals. The most popular tattoo that the for criminals it is like the tear, and
Okay.
maybe that they think that they could not give a good presentation. But also, if they put some tattoo in their arm and they say that they're going to cover that tattoo with a long
Sleeve,
uh, sleeve
sleeve, sleeve.
manga,
Yeah, okay. Sleeve,
yeah.
yes, sleeve.
Anyway, they don't give them the work, and that's where don't understand what happened.
Okay. What about with dyeing your hair green? People say I had two students in Liceo Cervantino who had their head dyed green and light blue. They looked weird, but they were extremely nice people, very nice people. One of them was actually a good artist. She drew fantastically, really, really nice. Um, and at the first sight, I felt repelled a little bit because, oh, what a color of the hair. But when I started dealing with them, I noticed that they were extremely kind, extremely polite, very disciplined, not disciplined, well, disciplined in terms of they completed their homework, they participated in class, they were very friendly, and they had a lot of talent. So it had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, I think also it is a stereotype that the society tend to have with things that they usually don't see, and the thing I see, I think it's something that really has to change because, well, in this case, the dyed hair, it is a kind of expression of emotions of each people, and or also could be only because they really like how it looks, but yeah, that don't
Well,
improve in their personality actually.
no, it doesn't, and it's a personal decision. But I don't know, Mickey, for example, I believe that God made man and women perfect with our bodies. I think our bodies are perfect when we are born, at least. Then we get
Oh,
some fat, right? Like myself. But let's say that why should we change it? I mean, if God gave us the skin, like, you know, all not shallow, but the skin is why should we paint it, why should we tattoo our
mm,
skin if it is perfect when we're born, is what I don't understand. What do you
oh,
think, Mickey, about this?
Hmm. Well, I don't like tattoos, to be honest. Or probably I would say if I see someone with tattoos, it's like okay, good for him, but or for her, but it's not something that really matters to me. I agree with you, but something is true, and is that we don't need to. Well, we mustn't judge people only for their appearance, but something that is bad, but it's true, is that there are people who judge people for their appearance. And for example, if you go to the doctor and you see someone who's a guy of 6.5 feet with tattoos, with a long beard, probably you're gonna say, I don't know if this is a good doctor. So it's something bad, but really happens. Well, in my opinion, it happens.
it happens.
Yeah, it happens.
So
Yeah.
I know that it's important to don't judge people for their appearance, but I know that there are people that judge people for their appearance.
Well, we do it all the time. I mean, if
Hmm.
I see a person who is not clean, I
Yeah.
judge him or judge her. I say, well, this man or this lady is not taking very good care of himself or herself,
Hmm.
right? On the opposite is also true. I see a person who's very clean, very tidy, very organized. And I say she is very clean, very organized, very this, very that. So I'm making judgments. Even if we see lots of memes, lots of banners saying "Don't judge people," it's a natural condition to judge people, is it not?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we say don't judge people, but we judge them all the time. I do it. I judge people all the time. I try to be courteous. I try to be polite, etc. But I always observe things, and I notice that people observe things,
Yeah.
and I think it's okay. I think it's okay. It's just not to be too severe. But well,
It
this is
depends.
yes, yes, Mitch, go ahead.
Depends of the cases, right?
For example,
Mm. Okay, you are judging the first side of the. Well, maybe the one that you said that maybe if that person is have a, how can I say, mancha,
stain.
a stain in their t-shirt, and that day, at the first impression we could think that they are usually that they don't care about her or himself. But what about if they just spill accidentally something in there, and the other days they are good and clean? But we have that first impression, and usually the first impressions are very important to the next days.
Yeah, yeah, of course. It's a very, that's why it's controversial, right? Because there are many opinions and the opinions are contrasting. Sometimes you see positive sides here, positive sides there, and that makes it very, very extremely interesting. And I think that Mitch and you mentioned, Mickey, is that we normally learn from the other
Yeah.
because the other person is sitting opposite to us, right? He's looking at things from a different perspective. So I believe this is one of the most important aspects of talking about controversial topics, that you learn a lot from the other person's standpoint. Okay, well, that was another digression. Thank you very much, guys.
Teacher,
Yes, Mitch. Yes, Mitch.
I wanted to comment something about the thing that you said. The God made us good, and so way why the people usually change that. I think it is related that the concepts that the human usually made every day or every pass of the human history, they we always made concepts that at the first God don't make that. We made this kind of concepts, and this era the humans made the concept that they if you died your hair, you are thinking this, or you are feeling this, or you are want to look like a fantasy character or things like that. But it is about concepts that the people tend to make and make around of the human history, and that's usually happens.
Totally, totally agree. Concepts are made by man, of course, and they are made not by themselves or by himself or by herself. It's normally made in a consensus, right? Consensual way, consensual manner. Why? Because man is a social being. That's obviously
Mhm.
consensual manner. There is a consensus, and people agree or disagree in what is normally good or acceptable or bad and non-acceptable or unacceptable, right? And one important word, which I think you agree with this, you may agree with this, I don't know, is that concepts are dynamic. In other words, they are dynamic in the sense that what was acceptable before, now it is not. And what was unacceptable before, now it is acceptable.
Yeah.
And this is very interesting to see. For example, do you recall any of your uncles, grandparents? Well, I'm sure the answer is no, but who has had long hair? I'm talking about male people with long hair. Do you remember any relatives with long hair, male relatives with long hair, or friends? Doesn't have to be a relative. Male people with long hair that you know.
But I know.
from the older generation, not from your generation, but let's say your dad's generation or your grandparents' generation.
I don't know, but for example, the Beatles were male people with long hair.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yes, and
Jesus.
that create. Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, a good example. Good example. But not in my family, at least. I mean, I don't remember any of my uncles or my grandparents with long hair. Talking about the Mexican society, and now it's very common. My youngest brother wore long hair for 2 years. Of course, at the beginning, we were bullying him every single day, and we were laughing and making jokes and this and that. And then we
Yeah.
accepted him, and we said, "Okay, it's okay, right?" He didn't hurt anyone, but of course, we made a lot of jokes, good jokes, of course. But what was the problem? No problem at all. He even wore a ring, a knee ring, for a couple of weeks. Yes, Mitch.
It's also the, as we said minutes ago, that is the stereotypes and concepts that the humans made in years past, that the long hair and earrings could be only for women, just for women. If a male wear that, is
Yes.
gay, and and that's something that
Yeah,
I'm
that
really
was the stereotype.
uh-huh. I'm really glad that already changed, because actually men tend to like long hair. They really care about that, and they really look good. Just look tall. I mean,
Yeah. Well, let me ask you another question. I don't know if you ever saw your grandmothers with pants.
with what?
My mother with pants.
Hmm.
Your grandmothers with pants. My mother is 80 what? 83 or 82. Probably I shouldn't
Mhm.
say her age, but well, I already said it. It's 82 or 83. And she wears pants, denim pants, right? But my grandmother never, I don't recall ever seeing my grandmother wearing pants. Yeah, skirts, yes, all the time. Dresses, yes, all the time. But denim pants, my grandma, never. I don't remember that. That would be
Hmm.
your great grandparents. Did you meet them actually? Probably you didn't meet your great grandparents. That is your parents' grandparents.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No.
No? Well, when you have a chance, ask your dad or your mom if they ever saw their grandparents wearing pants. None of the grandparents, their grandmothers. Their
Yeah.
grandmothers.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, yes,
Hmm.
exactly. Ask them when you have a chance. I bet a candy bar that they're gonna say no, they never wore them. And what's the problem with wearing pants? Well, it was not in use 100 years ago.
Mhm.
Yes. We
So
go to the same thing. The stereotype that the pants only wear to men. If you as a woman use that, you are gay.
yeah, well, or at that time they would call them like they would use a different name, but yeah, it's the similar idea, right? They were not acceptable. Well, when we I think the last time we learned when women started to vote, when women started to go to school, to university, when women started the minorities were not allowed to do many things which are allowed to do now, right? Remember? So that's a big progress of society. So the other thing, which is a concept invented by man, is the concept of progress, right? Which is difficult to define. And everybody talks about progress, but exactly what is progress, Mickey?
Mm, uh, Probably progress. I will define that we learn of our mistakes and we continue from that to now.
Okay, very interesting definition. Learning from mistakes, and continuing or carrying on from there, right?
Yeah.
Carry on from there on. What is progress for you, Mitch? Thank you, Mickey.
Yes, sir.
What is what?
Progress for you. because we say that the society has made progress, so society has made evolution, has evolved. Yeah, but what is that? What is progress? What is evolution?
Well, we can classify that in some things. We could classify it in the way that the way of thinking of the people, the technology way, the economic way, the um, enterprises way, the education way, the language way. Um, well, in some things, we of course are evolutionated. That the technology, the thinking of the people, but maybe not in the economic way. Mm, it is well, of course, and even not all the countries, because for example, Arabia Saudita is Saudi. Okay, that they are not.
Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabia.
Mhm, Saudi Arabia. Mm, they're not. Mm, yes, and that's it. It depends of the way that you want to see it.
Okay, very interesting. All right. Well, another little digression. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And okay, let's go back to the exercises. And we have to do another one, which is exercise B. So we're gonna write questions with this, please. So let's do the first one.
Mhm.
Here, let's do the first one, please.
Uh, we need to add other words, or only with the words that there are.
Uh, you wash your hair when I ran. No, no, no. We need to change or write other things, right? Yeah, write or even modify the ones that are there when we move this here.
Must be. Uh, do you washed your hair when I rang?
Yeah, were you washing, right? Were you washing your hair when I rang?
Oh,
Were
okay.
you washing? Yeah, is past continuous followed by
Mhm.
simple past. So can you read it, Mickey, please? Were you?
Were you washing your hair when I rang?
Yes, perfect. Thank you. Number two, Mitch, please.
Hmm. Uh, you give, uh, Julie gave you?
Oh, yeah, but because it's a question, you use the auxiliary, right? Did
Uh, did
Julie?
Julie gave you her
Did you?
email address yesterday?
Yes, yesterday. Okay, perfect. Thanks. Number three, Mickey, please.
Yes, sure. Mm, um, do you
Perfect. Yes. Do you always?
always have lunch this late?
Okay, very good. Thanks. Excellent. Thank you. The next one, Mitch, please.
Mm-hmm. Mm, Jack and Tom are coming
Yeah, are Jack and Tom coming?
to the party tonight.
Perfect. Very good. The next one, please, is number five, please.
Mhm. Uh, can you give me a hand later?
Perfect. Thank you, Mickey. The next one, please, Mitch.
Eh, all you,
Hola, mami. Yo bien. ¿No te desperté?
all you. Uh, oh,
You need
ah,
the auxiliary.
how,
How do?
how do you spell your name?
Yes. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. The next one, please. Let me just move this a little bit upwards. Scroll this up again a little. Here. All right. So number 7, Mickey, please.
Yes, sir. Wait, why the government?
Why can't the
Why can't the
government?
government do something about the situation?
Perfect. Thank you very much. And the last one, Mitch, please.
Mm, what you, uh, where did you go
Perfect. Very good.
for your honeymoon last year?
Excellent. Thank you very much. And the last one, Mickey, please.
Mhm. What look like?
Yeah, but it's a question. So, what did
Uh,
your
what did
house
your house look like when when it's finished?
when it was, right?
When it was
Finished.
finished. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much. Excellent. Okay, let me digress again a little bit. I like digressions, as you can see. We normally organize things in a certain way, right? We organize your room in a way that you like. Oh, this goes here, this goes there, this goes here, this goes there. We organize our school in this way. This class is here, this class is there. This class. And when we organize the world, I tend, but it's a personal preference, of course. I tend to think of family. First, I tend to think of myself, or I, right? Then I think of family, the family. Then I think of friends. Then I think of society in general. Actually, let me change the structure. I think family and friends is one concept. Then I think society is another concept. Not that family and friends are not part of society, but I consider a separate group. Society, then I consider industry, and then I consider the government. But of course, this is um, arbitrary definition or organization of the world, right? But for me, it makes sense. So I make five different groups. I make the group of myself, that's me. Maybe I should include God because I'm a religious person. Family and friends is another group. Society is another group. Industry is another group. And the government is another group. But this is an arbitrary definition. How do you organize the world in terms of groups? In terms of groups. Mitch, Mickey, organizing the world.
Mm,
I'm gonna delete this so not to influence your comments.
um, myself would be the first one.
Okay, so you think of yourself. Okay,
Mhm.
myself. Then
Then my family and friends, friends and family.
friends and family. Okay,
Mm, then would be society.
society. You don't make a different group for clients, right? Or clientele or businessmen.
Mhm.
Or I don't know if you do. Maybe not. I don't know. Society.
Mm, Well, yeah, my client and that thing uh, are involved in society.
Okay, so clients included, right?
Yeah.
Clients included. Okay. What
Mm,
else?
will be the government.
Government, government. Okay, very good. That's how you organize the world, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Very nice, Mickey. Thank you very much. How about you, Mitch? How do you organize the world? How do you conceive the world in terms of groups, please?
Mm. I I don't understand, teacher. Sorry.
Yeah, well, if I ask you the question, who is the world? Who are who who is the world? Who are part of the world? Maybe you say, well, everyone. Yeah, but who is everyone, right?
Okay. Um, humans.
Humans. Yeah, but humans is 7 billion
Yes.
people.
Yes. Pretty much.
Yeah, more or less, right? If you want to organize these 7 billion people, how would you divide
Mm.
them or organize them?
Uh, well, I think the society already organized that. Each person are in their country by countries.
So you okay by countries, perfect. That's another definition which is totally valid. Countries, okay, and consequently probably from continents also, right? If you
Mhm.
wish, maybe just countries.
Continents.
Okay,
Yes.
continents. What else, Mitch? Another way of organizing the world.
Flora and fauna.
Okay, that's another flora and fauna. Perfect. That makes total sense. Flora and fauna. Yeah, that's important because then you're taking environmentalist point of view, which is very important if we want to take care of the country, right?
Mhm.
What else?
Yeah. Money.
Money. Money. That's a separate concept. Okay. What else?
Mm,
I had
eh,
well, yes, yes.
yeah. How can I say terrestre?
Terrestrial or earthly.
Terrest- Terrestrial or aquatic surface?
Okay. Terrestrial. Terrestrial or aquatic surface. Okay. That's looks very environmentalist and I like it. Thank you very much. Let me share with you a definition that a friend of mine made not long ago. He made this definition. The world, very simple. He said predators and to praise. That was his definition. Very basic, very crude. I don't know what you think of this. Some are the predators and some are the preys.
Mm-hmm.
Prey,
Yeah.
you know what prey is, right?
Yes.
Presas. And predators, well, obviously, predadores, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I told him, but look, uh, Pepe, let's call him Pepe. His name is not Pepe, but I call him Pepe. I say to him, but this is only for animals. He says,
Yeah.
absolutely not. He says, this is for humans as well. He divides the world in predators and preys. I says, well, and he created a huge controversy. What do you think about this definition, Mich Mickey?
Yes, but it's true. I mean, this also can apply to the humans, of course, in the way that we feed us, but also in the power levels of society or money. For example, if someone rich going to take advantage of someone in poverty.
Takes advantage of the poor or the person in poverty, right? Well, what do you think of this concept, Mickey? Thank you, Mitch.
Um, well, obviously, we know of cases that rich people takes advantage of the poor people, and obviously, it must be something that don't need to happen, but at the end happens, and it's something so sad, and it's like the example that you gave of there are two types: there are predators and there are prey, and in society it happens in the same way.
Yeah, it shouldn't happen like that, but it normally happens. I don't know the frequency, I don't know the statistics, but this happens for sure, right?
Yeah.
The the strong overrules the weak, right? The strong overrules sometimes subdues the weak. Is this fair? Well, I like Mitch's concept that she says we create values, right? We say this is bad. Well, it is bad, but if you read Machiavelli, Niccolo Machiavelli, he wrote a fantastic book called The Prince, which said more or less, I'm not talking about the world how it should be. I'm talking about how the world is, right? So this is his phrase. He's not talking about the world in moral principles. He's talking about the world, how the world is. And that is a very interesting concept. I suggest that you, of course, all my suggestions uh, have a biased point of view, right? But I would say that you, when you have an opportunity, read, if not the book, read a summary of the book, The Prince, and then we discuss it because it talks about more or less the world in predators and preys. And that makes it extremely interesting because then we say, we start thinking in moral terms. We say, well, that's not right. That's right. We should change that. We shouldn't change that. But it's a very philosophical way of thinking, and some people like it, some people don't like it. Actually, in the school where I studied my primary school, they hated Machiavelli. They didn't like him very much. Are you familiar with the name Machiavelli, Mickey, Mitch?
Yes.
Have you read anything from him?
Mm, not all the books, but I know some quotes of him.
Okay, right. Well, when you have an opportunity, you know the name Mitch? I'm sure you do, right?
Yes.
Machiavelli. If you have an opportunity, read The Prince. I would say that is a great book. Actually, it's the Bible of politicians.
Okay.
So I would say that you're going to like the book, you're going to learn it, not necessarily agree with it. I don't think you're going to agree in everything, but you're going to like it because it's like I say, no, America is the best team. You're going to say, no, 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 the Guadalajara or Pumas or León or Cruz Azul, whoever. You're going to think probably differently, but you're still going to like the book. I promise. Okay. Well, now an important topic, another important topic, guys. I'm going to start working for a school, and I'm going to start working this week, beginning at 7 and ending at 3. So I would like that we can readjust our schedule. Do you think that would be possible?
Yes, teacher. So at what time would be good for you?
After I finish at 3, so I get home like at 4.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
maybe 4 or 5, if possible, please. What do you think?
Mhm. Probably just tomorrow will be a little bit complicated for me, but the rest of the days for me, there's no problem.
So you talk about Wednesdays would be complicated, or only tomorrow?
Not only tomorrow, only
Only,
tomorrow.
only tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Mitch? Thank you, Mickey. What about you? Would it be
No,
okay to
it's
have it
okay.
4 or 5 is okay?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. Well, so it's not a problem. I thought it was going to be a big deal, but it's not.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
I'm so happy about that.
Yes,
Okay,
teacher.
well, so let's schedule our next class, if not tomorrow, for Thursday, all right?
Yes,
Mhm.
teacher. Please,
So
thank you very much.
maybe thank you and have a wonderful day. Enjoy all the best wishes for this new year. Success, happiness, joy, wisdom, which you already have a lot.
Thank you,
So
teacher. You as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
thank you.
teacher.
Thank you. Take care. See you.
Take
Have a
care,
great
teacher.
day.
See you.
You
Have a great
too. Bye.
year,
Enjoy.
teacher.
Enjoy. Take
Have
care.
a nice
Bye.
day. Bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.